The idea of just kind of getting out of the way and letting something happen has been another thing that stayed with me. And, you know, the most recent one was working with Clint Eastwood on a film, and
Called
American Sniper.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. So like I had gone and just done a little tape, and they're like, you know, you're gonna get it. It seems like you're gonna get it. We waited and waited, and finally came down. And I basically just had this one day of work as Bradley Cooper's drill instructor. And I showed up on set, and there's a guy who had worked with Clint before, and I knew that he had a reputation of working with people before. And he said, you know, Clint is the kind of guy that he's not going to direct you. He's not going to tell you what to do. He's seen your tape. He knows what you can do. He knows you're capable, and you're just going to do that. And I was like, okay. And so, like, the big part of my scene was talking about this guy's weight, making fun of him because he's fat. And
not Bradley, another.
No, not Bradley, but another guy, Jake McDormand. And I think this is his last name. And so I meet him, and the guy isn't big at all.
At all.
Like, and so now I'm like, I don't know what to do. And so we show up on set. I'm sure they're going to address it and they're going to change it around. And Clint walks up and he's like, you know, okay, we're just going to try one. You know, we're just going to do it. So we go through, and I just take in the nows of the scene, and I realize, okay, this guy isn't. They couldn't get a fat guy. They got a skinny guy. So I'm just gonna, you know, riff on him for being skinny. So I say something, and then they say, okay, that's enough of that, because he doesn't say action, he doesn't say cut.
Yeah, he never says action.
So he comes up and he says, yeah, well, you kind of gotta talk about him being fat. And I said, well, you know, certain, like, no disrespect, but I'm from Missouri, and there's no way this guy is considered fat. Not even in LA, you're gonna call this guy fat. And so they go and they put a little pooch on him, and they said,
skinny guy.
like, we just gotta make this work. So yeah, so like, we gotta make this work. So we go through it again, and again we have multiple cameras at work, and they say go. So it's me and this guy from Gran Torino, and they're just roving through the crowd of trainees, and we're saying stuff, and you're trying to be aware of the camera, and I realize they've got one following me and they've got one following him, but the guy had a megaphone. The other guy had a megaphone, and I didn't.
The other drill sergeant.
The other drill sergeant. So as we're going through the scene, and they're gonna just let us run, you get a sense of it very early. So we're into like 2-3 minutes, and I feel my camera leave, and it goes to the other guy, and then, you know, the fear kicks in, and I'm like, oh shit, like I just gotta, like, this is my day on a Clint Eastwood set, and I'm gonna lose. Like, that's all I kept thinking, like, I'm gonna lose. And it's like I'm not here to fucking lose. Mm-hmm. And again, like, I just kind of blanked out and let whatever came out my mouth come out my mouth. Mm-hmm. And I, you know, I think I called upon every drill sergeant from Lou Gossett to, you know, Bill Dale Dye to, you know, boy from Full Metal Jacket, and I'm just going for it, and I'm like screaming and running, and I hear cut. And I closed my eyes and I thought, this is going to be an interesting chapter in the book. The day I got fired off a Clint Eastwood movie. And I was like, and I just sat there for a second, and I feel a hand on my shoulder. And I turn around, and Dirty Harry is standing there, and he just kind of bends over. And he's just like the Bill Hader impersonation, like he's got his pants up here, and he comes up and he looks at me and he says, "What the fuck did you just say?" and I was like, "Sir, I don't. You're gonna have to play it back." I just didn't want to go home. I didn't want to get sent home, man. And for the rest of the day, I mean, he was like, "Man, you said something about fucking Cheetos and Dr. Pepper, and we're getting it all cleared. I don't care how much it costs. We're getting it cleared. We're gonna say it." And then Jason, the writer, came up to me and was like, "Dude, I'm taking credit for everything you said." And I said, "Well, if you get nominated for an Oscar, just thank me." The movie comes out and they kept it all. And it's basically my reel from the film. It's like all the stuff that I made up. And so this idea of, you're prepared, you're professional, you're ready, but don't turn that screw so tight to where you strip it and there's nothing that can come in and out. You got to continue to be ready to receive whatever's coming at you, and that's the stuff we hope for, no matter where we are, whether it's stage or television or film. And looking back at that chalkboard, it's art, but those moments, those were life moments. It was a real visceral connection, and it really helped me own that because it worked. I'm sure that it's that idea of not being afraid to fail. And so those are three that come back to me, because I think every time I work, I think about those moments at some point.